Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to such a high-profile audience about a topic which is, of course, much lighter than the change of the world order that we heard from Ray Dalio. It's great to hear such a legend live. But that's maybe the reason why I was put into this place between two very heavy topics to make it a bit lighter, to give you a kind of cappuccino break about it. But nevertheless, I think it's a topic that is underestimated from a lot of investors, talking about classic and collectors' cars as an alternative investment class. What does myself qualify to talk to you? First, I have never been a car dealer. I never worked for an auction house. I never run a workshop. I am an enthusiast, that's true, but my background is real estate development. I'm running my real estate development companies in Europe and now here in the UAE since 40 years. And I developed, next to my job as CEO and owner of my companies, a concept focused on classic car enthusiasts, centers for classic car enthusiasts, but as a real estate investment project. I did this as a professor for real estate development at European Business School around the 2000 years. And we developed then, after the numbers were looking very great on the scientific side, we moved it to the company and we realized some of these centers. These are still up today the largest classic car centers in the world. And out of this experience, having 200 tenants in this classic car business, I got very deep insights in the market without being myself, really being part of this market. So I'm in a privileged position, and maybe I'm one of very few ones here at the Finance Week. I don't have to sell you anything. I just can give you my honest opinion about these opportunities, but the risks as well. Having said this, there are actually two opportunities to present such a topic. I could do it as an enthusiast, showing fantastic pictures of classic cars, entertain you with these pictures. You will go out in a good mood. Maybe you would not have learned anything, but you would have great 10 minutes. Or I could do it as a consultant and hammer you with 25 slides in 10 minutes, looking very impressive, very scientific, but in the end, there is probably not much more value for you in it. So let me try to find a way somewhere in between to give you a very few insights in 10 minutes. 7 are left. Even if I would have 10 hours, it would not be enough to give you a deep insight, but I can hopefully give you a glimpse of it. First, let's have a look at the market, if the market is relevant. Globally, we have more than 1 trillion classic and collectors cars in assets. So that's a significant number to think about it. When you think about the revenue pool of $90 billion per year, then you compare it, for example, with the art market, there we talk about, the numbers are varying, $30 to $50 billion per year. So it's 2 times the art market, talking about alternative investments. And a very interesting point from an investment standpoint, there is a very low correlation to other assets. That means, to a certain extent, you can hedge your portfolio with such an investment. And what is even more, and this is going to be a bit more important later on in the presentation, we have annually more than 5,000 deals of cars beyond $500,000 value. When we talk about family offices, we talk about high net worth and ultra high net worth individuals. For them, this is a common topic. Around 35% of the ultra high net worth individuals have classic cars in their portfolio. This is just a normal thing to have from a certain wealth. You buy a classic car, maybe you don't drive it, but you have one. And interestingly, even if we talk about autonomous driving, electric cars and whatever, people are going on investing in this market. Not to mentioning that new markets are coming up now in a moment. I will talk about this in a minute. The good thing is these automotive investments are highly liquid globally. You can sell them on auctions wherever in the world. We had a fantastic auction of RM Sotheby's just a few days here in Abu Dhabi, one of our partners. They sold 84 million US dollars cars within a few hours. Great success. And you can do this all over the world. You can take the car wherever you want. There are some taxes, now even higher in the US. But besides this, it is really a fungible asset. And it offers inflation protection. That's a bit more like real estate. You have really an asset, a tangible asset, and this is not directly connected to any inflationary developments. And last but not least, of course, you have a lot of joy with these products. And this is, I think, a very important point. If you don't feel what the people drive who love classic and collectors' cars, if you don't have any sense for that, maybe it's best to stay away from it. The passion element is a very important element, not only for your own excitement, but to understand what drives the market. Now let's have a look at the value pool of this classic car topic. We have first trading and brokerage, which equals about 40 to 45 billion US dollars annually. Then we have vehicle manufacturing. I'm not really sure if this should be in it, because these are actually, in my understanding, copies of cars. But we leave it there. Very important, especially for the future logistics and storage, but even more kind of service for the collectors. Then we have the administration, financing, and insurance. This is going in the same direction like logistics and storage. These are services to the collectors, because it's just a bit of work to manage a collection of cars. Then we have maintenance, restoration, and spares. This is around 30 billion US dollars annually. I would stay away from this business. That's a very complicated business, very often driven by the owner of the workshop, still a cottage industry. Investing in this topic, I think it's difficult to take it over from an entrepreneur who has run the business for 30 years, now needs a succession change. This is actually quite difficult. I would stay away from this. And then very strong and very strongly growing from a small basis is the community and experience element, because it's about sharing your passion with other people. There are fantastic events like Goodwood, Goodwood Revival as one of the examples. We have the Concours d'Elegance in Villa d'Este. We have the Mille Miglia in Italy. We just concluded with my company a Mille Miglia event here in the UAE, fully sold out, people from all over the world, from 36 countries. They are not here because they have no other opportunities to drive their cars. They want to get in touch with the community. They want to spend great time together and enjoy this. This will have, in my opinion, a massive growth in the future. Now about the market. You want to know, can you make money with it? Yes, you see all these charts here. This is the K500 index. It's from Simon Kitson, one of the leading figures in the classic car world. He analyzed all the auction results. They are transparent, from 1994 till 2025. And you see there is a significant increase of value of the cars. But, and that's the reason why I showed it like this. You see the yellow chart. This is the K500 average of the 500 most important motor cars in the world, the types of motor cars. This is quite solid growing. And interestingly, you don't see any huge peaks at COVID times. That's what I meant when I say it's not correlated to other assets. There was not very much happening in the COVID times. Even the market was going up because the people had the opportunity to drive their cars while they have nothing else to do. But you see the other curves, the green one and especially the blue one. These are Ferraris. Ferrari pre-1958 and Ferrari post-1973. You see, they are not really correlated. Even in one brand, there is a completely different development in values when you look at different years of the cars. And this is very important to know. It's a highly complex market. And this is actually a warning. Don't believe anybody who tells you put your money on the table. I will get back with you with revenues of 10 to 15% per year for sure. Don't believe them. Very important, and I go through a bit faster because I'm running out of time already. I blame it to my weak voice. The second point is the most important one, the total ownership cost. You cannot just put the car somewhere and do nothing with it. You have to pay for storage, you have to pay for some maintenance, even if you don't drive the car. All of this costs money. And I would say a good guess for a high-value car is minimum 20,000 US dollars per year. So it makes no sense to invest in a car with a value lower than 250,000 US dollars if you pay every year just for maintenance 20,000 US dollars. You have to go higher. And that's what I call the investment market. The rest is absolutely fine, but this is personal joy. I have to come to an end, but I want to stress the point I mentioned before. It is about passion and investment and community building. And that's maybe interesting for you. We saw it at our Milli Millia event in the UAE last week. We had tremendous success because the people wanted to come together. They want to join, they want to share their passion. And for companies, it was, by the way, very interesting because it was not the 10th golf event or the 15th tennis event. It was something completely unique. And this was very interesting for companies, especially from the financial sector, just to mention this, to be part of this. And I hope I can play the video. This is a high net worth individual from the UK, Steve Brooks, driving a Bugatti 37 worth 3 million US dollars. I think the video is not working. Can we play the video? Only 50 seconds? Yes? No? No, we can't. But you find it on the homepage of my company, Millia Experience UAE, and on Instagram. There you see what really passion means. He completely rebuilt the water pump of his car just to join the rally again, spend a whole night with another gentleman together to be back on track. I have only 10 minutes. This was only a small glimpse in this topic. It is a highly complex topic. You can make very good money with it, but please don't believe a lot of companies. They are out there in a moment. They say, we buy just 15, 20 cars. We will raise the value. They take, of course, their share as well, and they make money. Don't invest without any passion in it. Enjoy the car. If you make, what is the average, 7% per year, fantastic. If you don't make it, you have an emotional revenue with the whole topic. And please don't make any decisions without experts. I'm in this business now since 25 years. I never counted them, 80, 90 classic cars all the time in my collection. And the more I know about the classic cars, the more I trust real experts. And the less I'm courageous enough to make my own decisions. Only 10 minutes, a short glimpse in an investment topic. I hope it was a nice insight for you in a maybe completely new topic. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and sorry for being 2 minutes longer than originally expected. Thank you very much.